So, a lot of things aren't right with history, and I've been trying to get the world to understand that so that way we could fix ourselves. Because if the civilians become military, and military always does what they're told and always dies in battle and comes back injured, and still with them signing over their life to the government to aid them in their military, and then come back with limbs cut off, gone, and not getting enough money to still live a good life, and feeling like you don't even want to be there because you lost family parts, family got mad at you, family never was strong, or family broke apart while you're gone. It's a lot of vital stuff that keeps hurting America as well as other places in the world. So one thing we've gone over, 33, Jesus, when he was put on the cross, 66 books, as far as them counting. They've said in many other languages and other parts of the world, Egyptian pyramids, the ones that left things on stone, people that had texts and scrolls, and a lot of those got burnt and destroyed. You look at the hieroglyphics, a lot of them are like damaged, where it's like they're not letting you read the whole story. But what I already noticed when I looked at them right away, it was like if I was reading the Bible. Everything that I noticed, from Aztec calendar to ancient Egypt to anywhere, the story in any language or any form of format, in computers you call it format, but when you're doing a calculation, it's called a forum. Have you guys ever noticed that? These are the things that are letting you know English is the end game. It's either we're going to take back and learn, with everybody being able to learn and operate and link connections all in one language, universal language or sign language. I mean, everything takes a matter of time to learn. And once it's learned, boom, it's like everyone can work together and we win. But if everybody keeps just doing what they're told, not saying to rebel, not saying to fight back, I'm just saying, if they just do what they're told and they adapt quick enough, then we could actually flip the tide. So that's my biggest worry. Mother Earth is very, very important to me. Always sat next to a tree, just like a boy next to his mother. And Jesus really took care of me as far as me getting this smart. Digital dollar. How about let's get digital credit at the same amount of money? So therefore, everyone gets like, let's say, $4,000 a month in credit, or things going higher in money. Okay, well, everyone gets $8,000 in credit. That's with a big family. You're a single guy, you get $4,000. You know what I'm saying? Things like that, but it's not money. So therefore, nobody can attack it. Nobody can hack your account. Nobody can steal your money. Because when people steal your money, there's your credit that you have to live off of. Meaning nobody can steal your credit. So if you have a certain amount that everybody gets equal, then somebody ends up having a double amount or triple amount. Obviously, that's a hacker, and that person stole somebody's credit. That's what I'm trying to explain to the world. There's all of these things that are end game calculations, and in which we fail or we succeed. Another thing I want to talk about is IE. If IE didn't exist, then why is it always put in timeline explanation? Before Christ, that was before, and that's, that was already seen in pagan history and their texts, that they were supposed to protect the king of the Jewish. But instead, witchcraft turned that around, that evil mimics innocence theory, and put a good organic medicine man on a cross, and you took away 33% of the mind, 33% of the body. You took that 100% of spirit and broke it down to only working 33%. So then, after that, when you already had so much crazy black magic, witches, people on trial for trying to sell people elixirs for werewolves, when you had the Hebrews already make a witchcraft monster, the Moloch or whatever, that big mud guy. When you see the Navajos, which we weren't called Navajos, we were called Apache, and later on we got called Apache Dene, or I'm sorry, Apache Navajo, and now they're separated. So you have Navajo Dene, and you have Apache and Enid or Ened or something like that. It's backwards. It's my whole E equals M equals I theory. Evil manipulates innocence. So, with all this crazy madness about witchcraft, voodoo dolls, elixirs, pharmaceuticals, surgery, all of this is very, very much real. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. That's, 100% when you look at 33.33. And like I said originally, 6646, it's like 3 6s each in separate calculations times 11, because 6 plus 5, which Jesus, look at the Christmas star, which is on top of a tree, is 5 points. Jesus stands for 5 points, and he stands for 5 flashes of light. So when you put that on top of a tree, that is the tree of life. Therefore, we have the spirit of hope that lives with us. These are some ancient teachings that nobody is teaching you except this guy. So when you ask if Jesus is real or Jesus isn't, if he died for all of our sins, then how come we're all living in this hell? Well, that's because he did it in a sense of being that mystically magical and inclined, where he was a normal person, but he had the gift of intellect and memory. So he was able to chop everything down and help people spiritually, physically, and mentally. He was able to heal the sick. He was able to give people eyesight back. And all this time he was confused on why me? And at the end, he said, do not blame them, for they don't know what they're doing. And at the very end, he said, my task is done. Obviously, God, intellect, was speaking through Jesus, which is God. You see, you have to reach a certain intellect in order to be that close with God. You can't be some puppet or some puppet master and yelling at an army or temple of knights or Roman Empire and tell them, God listens to me, or I listen to God and God says kill them. Way of life is to protect life. Way of life is to teach life. Way of life is to love life. If you don't do those three, then of course you're going to have Book of Revelation, which is the opposite of those three. 3 demons. 3 demons can get you from physical manipulation, from mental disturbing, and from spiritual not caring, ignoring, just liking everything that's terrible because you've grown into that. That is where you have the spirit of life, the tree of life, do the mirror reflection of the tree of death. I'm trying to teach all of you, and if you don't pay attention to my videos, shame on you, because I've been trying to get this worldwide, and either somebody blocks it or nobody is actually showing that they care. God bless you.